working with Nico. I'm Nico, and right now I'm leaving Brevik for the return to Tønsberg. And currently I'm just inside, as you can see, a residential area. Today's video is going to be, most of it going to be just driving. So if you're not a very fan of slow TV and seeing people drive in a truck, this video might not be for you, but I have something to say first and be done with it. And what I have on my mind is one of the benefits of being at work. There's a lot of benefits, but the one in particular is the possibility and the opportunity to interact with other people. Today I've been talking to customers, I've been talking to my colleagues, helping out a little bit outside of the truck, and all in all had someone to speak to. Not very deep things, and all about work and working, but still a lot more talking than the alternative, which is to sit home alone, because at home everyone is at work. So there's no one to talk to. And no one has the time to talk to you because, well, they're at work. Most of the people I know is at work. So I can't make any phone calls to different people to have a social life. And I know from experience that being home is a lonesome thing. It's very lonesome. But being able to be out there, if it's not work, being able to come out not only for to move your body and get some exercise or just something more than sitting still, but if you have the opportunity and the energy to have someone to talk to, it does not need to be very deep issues about mental health and about your situation, about your misery. It could be as something simple as the weather, or how your football team is doing, and complain about a neighbor, whatever. Just something that, for my part, at work, being able to speak about the work, it makes me part of the process. It makes me part of the productivity, and maybe I have some qualified meanings about what's going on, what should we do next, and that is also very meaningful for me to know that my opinion is appreciated, and I can say yes or no to things, and people listen to me. And that's very valuable, because if you just take messages, but you what can I say? You just are not able to mean something. That is kind of poor. But okay, still better. But being able to interact with your colleagues and learn something. I learn something every day, and both in traffic, but also about the construction occupying. I don't know the English word exactly for. In Norwegian we call it a fag. I'm not educated in construction. My education is limited to truck driving, but I learn something every day about excavating and how much the soil needs to be comprimated, for instance, or what to do with different layers of stone and different types of stone, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. How to handle and lay pipes, all this stuff. I know a lot over the years. I learned a lot, but there's still much to learn, and I do believe that you're never fully educated, because there's always something new to learn, both in traffic and in construction. Because even if you are one of the best, the game develops all the time. I call it a game in lack of better words. Bear with me on that. But things are developing all the time. I always try to stay on top of things as good as I can. But of course, sometimes I come to situations where I need to admit my lack of competence, my lack of knowledge in very many things, and then I learn something new, and that's great. I like to learn new things. I'm not a big social guy, but I love to learn new things. There's something about driving that kind of gets to me. It seems kind of boring, maybe. It is. You're just sitting there holding the wheel, right? No, it's more than just holding a wheel. Well, right now I'm on just a regular road, and there's not too many things to watch out for. In a short bit of time I will be out on the highway. There's even less to watch out for. Just activate the cruise control and let the truck do its job, really. But there's always something, like the behavior of the car in front of me. What should I expect? Is it someone who takes some weird decisions along the way? So I need to be more precautious about what he's doing or she is doing, because sometimes I had people braking for no reason, or slowing down for no reason, or making some weird turns, and you need to be alert all the time, even if the job is simple enough. But I also have this philosophy that there's always something to learn, and there's always more to look out for than you necessarily need to make the track go wherever you want it to go. So it's all about being observant in the traffic. One thing is what happens around you, but it's also about fuel efficiency. When do I let off the throttle, and when do I go on the throttle? If there's a sharp turn coming up, I can let off throttle in good time and push the throttle in the right spot, so you get the most power out of the turn again. And that's always something to learn. And it's very variable due to the weight of the truck, whether it's fully loaded or empty. Right now I'm empty, and that means I can have some higher speeds in the corner, but I need to I must know my truck And of course I do. I've been driving this so much that I know my truck very well. I also got some experience of bus driving, where it's also crucial to keep your passenger happy at all time. And that's even more important to maintain a comfortable ride, a soft ride, not necessarily slow but soft, so you keep your customers happy and they also have the feeling of being on a safe journey, because there's a lot of things I can do in this truck without the passengers that is completely safe, but for one that is not in control of the truck and don't feel all the movements in the truck in the same way as the one who's holding the steering wheel. There's a lot of things I can do with this truck that is perfectly safe that will feel unsafe for a passenger. And while driving bus, you need to make sure that your passengers feel safe. And I try to take some of it, not all of it, but some of it into my truck driving. Because it's all connected and it's all kind of sticking together. A comfortable drive is often more efficient and it's more fuel efficient. So kind of feels slower there and then, but in the long run you save both time and fuel. And you're having a better day yourself. But it's also a way of keep your focus on the driving, to be the best driver you can at all time. So that's one of the things that I really like to put out there. That try to be your best at all time. And in that way I can raise my level all the time. So my best yesterday is worse than my best today. Of course, there's baby steps when you come to a certain point. I'm not saying I'm a perfect truck driver. There's tons of truck drivers that are better than me, but at least I do believe, and I like to think about myself, that I have the right attitude to it. And of course it's about fuel efficiency, as I said, and about comfortable driving. But it's also about complying with the others in traffic to make the traffic flow smoothly and cooperate with those others that are on the same road, so you can make it the traffic flow as fast as possible. And especially on the highways, it's always an issue when a truck tries to overtake another truck. There's one of those small things. Earlier today, I caught it on film, so I should try to just put it in there. I overtook a truck. He was heavier than me, so I overtook him uphill, but he came to the top of the hill before I was done overtaking him. And instead of letting me overtake and finish and go back to the right lane, he just pushed on, and since he was heavier than me, and he just got over this hilltop and into a downhill, so he kind of started overtaking me again. Finally I got him and got past him, but it took way more time than necessary, and the result was there was a lot of cars behind me that wanted to go past. I couldn't because we were blocking both lanes. One can say that I should have waited to overtake him to a longer bit of uphill? Yeah, probably. But he could also help me out, and actually by law in Norway, if someone is trying to overtake you, you're supposed to brake if necessary, or even stop if necessary, to let those who are overtaking you do so safely. Of course, that applies mostly to roads as we are on now, where there are oncoming traffic. But still, it's something to think about. So here is a construction project for a new highway. In a short bit we will entering the existing highway. The place is called Langangen. So right now we're between Porsgrunn and Larvik on Europe Road 18 or E18. Okay. In my first video, I mentioned the song, and I said I might sing it later. Well, maybe the time has come already, because I like to sing when I'm driving. Although it feels a little weird to sing in front of the camera. But let's give it a shot, shall we? It's in Norwegian. I put the subtitles underneath. The song goes like this. Bedre og bedre dag for dag. Bedre og bedre dag for dag. Du kan more deg og smile, selv om andre syns du burde fortvile. Selv om stillingen er svak, så syng med velbehag. Det går bedre og bedre dag for dag. Something about I don't know the English phrase for that. There's a lot of English things I don't know, but in Norway we have a phrase that says it's to be på seg selv, kind of bidding on yourself, or give something from yourself without thinking about what others mean about it. And I try to do that also in the future. Maybe this should be something I do whenever I have a driving video. Let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, like and subscribe and all that. It helps out the channel, and I really want to grow, so I think I have something to say, although it's a little bit bits and pieces, but I think I have something to say that is worth hearing. And of course there's a lot of people on YouTube that talks about working with an illness and working with pain and all that, but I found very few that actually showing they're working. There's a lot of guys sitting in the studio, or their home studio, or in their living room, and talking about getting active and such things like that. But I don't think there's many truck drivers that actually promotes the benefits of being at work instead of sitting home and feel sorry for yourself. And that's what I want to do something about. So there's that. Yeah. Probably a little dark in here now. I don't know how it looks on camera. There's a lot of tunnels in Norway, but this is the last long one on this trip. And they reduced the speed limit for one reason, I don't know why. It might become obvious later on. Right now we're outside of Brevik. The thing is about tunnels in Norway, very often on highway tunnels, trucks aren't allowed to overtake inside the tunnels. So, well, now the speed limit is reduced to 70 anyway. But if I was behind a very heavy truck and this tunnel is going uphill, I would not have been allowed to overtake. Now there's change of lane, so now we have to be in the left lane. Probably an accident or something. If there's an accident, I can't show it to you. That's very There are some rules about that in Norway, I think. I'm not sure how the rules are, but just for being safe, depending on the accident. It's the car standing there, so maybe it's just that was it. In that case, I will throw it. Safety margins are very big when there is someone standing in a lane. So they shut down one lane several kilometers before the accident or whatever happens. So now we're going flat out, 90 kilometers per hour. That's the limiter in the truck. All European trucks are limited to 90 kilometers per hour. That's about 56 miles an hour, I think, something like that. I know in America the trucks are going 120 miles in some states, but that's not happening here. There are ways to take out the limiter, but it's not recommended. That will cost you dearly if you get into a control, and I don't see any point of that. You just have to accept that it's going a little bit slow. But when I see some of the accidents in American winter roads, where trucks are going way too fast for the conditions, I'm kind of glad we have those limits. They will let me overtake. They're on top of the uphill now, so they might going to go up to the speed limit themselves. Hopefully they see I'm coming and letting me overtake. At least one of them does. The other one, not so much. I have a lot of cars behind me, so I'm gonna pull in. And this truck here is longer than the European standard. It's allowed in Norway on specific roads, but it's 22 meters long, as you might see on that sticker on the rear end of the trailer. On continental Europe, that is too long. You're not allowed. Maybe in some countries and with a special permit, but this guy doesn't need a special permit to be longer. You just need to have that sticker. Loaded with flour from a mill. You know, he ain't very helpful. I don't want to put some shame on fellow truckers, but if this was me, I would reduce the speed to 80 just to let the other truck pass and be done with it. It could be worse, but I'm guessing he's so heavy he couldn't maintain a higher speed anyway. But it's 5:15 already, and I want to go home. I have a birthday party to attend to, my niece. I want to go there. Also, I'm hungry.